My bad. All right, welcome to Four Corners Legacy Podcast. I'm your host, Diesel Washington. What's going on?
And I'm your host, Valley Uno. Peace, fam.
And I am your host, Miss Mai Mai.
And I am also your host, Tusa Shakira.
And welcome to Four Corners Legacy Podcast. We are on season 3, episode 4.
What's up, y'all?
What's good, people?
Another week, blessed to be alive.
How you living? How you live?
How you doing?
Oh, shit, I'm making it. I'm holding on like a hubcap in the fast lane.
You know, that's my line right there.
Yeah.
I'm three-wheeling right now.
Only real ones know what that means.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. So, man, the internet been lit. Been a whole lot going on. We got a whole lot to choose from, to pull from, to have a entertaining and enjoyable show.
Sunday fun day.
Yes, indeed.
So where we starting this week? You want to take off with the great Nipsey Hussle? We want to talk about that first. You want to go for something positive to come out?
Without a doubt.
All right. So as many of you guys know, as the corner of Crenshaw and Slauson has now been renamed to Nipsey Hussle Square. So shout out to Nipsey, shout out to Black Sam and Lauren London and all the people who've been pushing to make those kind of things happen. I think that that's great. I think that instead of remembering that spot as the place where he died, we're going to remember it as a place where we can spark life back into the community. So I think that that's great.
Right.
That's wonderful.
That's a good thing.
Without a doubt.
Definitely a good thing. And Black Sam, man, you know, he maintains his composure, but the magnitude of that tragedy is pretty deep.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah, and you know, you just got to think about all the hidden figures in that whole little circle, because you know, of course, Nipsey was always the face, but with his passing, Black Sam had to fill those shoes. Now he's the face, but like Nip used to always say, everything that he had going on, it was never just a result of his own grind. He had a solid ass team, and we already know, it goes without saying, that the team is putting forth the energy to keep all that going.
Right. Well, and I think that just showcases the importance of having a circle of people around you who believe in your dream, who believe in the same things that you believe in case somebody is not here to keep the dream alive, in case somebody falls, victim, falls short to death, then other people can still live out that legacy. So it's important to have people around you who support the same ideas, who believe in what you believe in and see the vision.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because they talked about it every night, what they wanted to do and all their plans.
Yeah, go ahead. I was just floating. No, but I was gonna say, because like when Tupac passed, you see it was the exact opposite. Like all its music just fell to the hands of motherfuckers, and people got paid and bootlegged it, and like it really didn't hold the power it was supposed to hold. He left that. I mean, he didn't intentionally leave it, but I'm saying he was prepared to leave it because,
Well, and I think a little bit with Tupac, I think the fact that his family had to find out once he died that the house that they all were living in, because you have to remember the Outlaws and everybody were all living in the same house. His mom, his aunt, he had a house in Calabasas for everybody. But they found out that the house was not in Tupac's name. So they all chose to move out of that house. And then that's when she started researching what was actually in his name. What was he, so I think that there was a difference in the way Tupac died and things were left unhandled versus the way that Nipsey died and everything was already in place. Plus Black Sam knew the plan. He knew what and everything, because he said he already owned his royalties. You know what I mean? Because
right. He didn't have to chase nothing down. Exactly. He didn't have to chase nothing down.
Yeah.
She had to go to court.
Correct. So that makes a huge difference, I think.
I'm really glad to see that. But like I said, I just can't help but feel in my mind, like, damn, that's got to be bittersweet to be doing shit so big for the, somebody who it was nothing. Like Nipsey, come on, man. You already know it was a shop in Times Square. Come on. That's so Nipsey-ish. When I heard that, I was like, that's Nipsey clearly would have did some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
yes.
Basically, another thing involving Nipsey Hussle was that they opened their third Marathon Burger, and it was opened in Long Beach, California, with the help of Snoop, and his son Cordell, I believe, played a part in the business side of it too, in getting that open. So that was something to kind of like be proud of as well. Like I said, again, the relationships that he had established still speaking volumes in his death on making things shake. So the third store was open. The third Marathon Burger is now open in Long Beach, California, but it didn't open without its fair share of bad publicity and things that go along. So if somebody else wants to tap in on that part of the story.
Yeah, I think it's good that we were able to highlight the positives about that whole move first, because the media is always going to do a good enough job of raining on somebody's parade. So there was a shooting that took place near the Marathon Burger, not at the Marathon Burger, but near. But the way the media portrayed it is that, people sitting in there eating burgers and somebody get laid out. But that's not what happened at all. It's up for speculation that, the incident may have been sparked by some exchange of words that took place at the restaurant. But nonetheless, the shooting itself did not happen there. You know what I mean? And even though something happened, we not finna just throw shade on the positive movement that's going on within that camp. They deserve the respect for sticking to the script on everything that the marathon was supposed to stand for, and we're seeing the results of that. So salute to the marathon team, and we watching out that rain.
Yeah.
Prayers go out to them excuse me, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Prayers go out to Big Sam and his whole crew, and that everything goes smoothly from here. And the opening of the one in Times Square goes flawless.
Right. Well, I think that's what we wanted to address also, was that they already have a fourth location planned. And I seen Black Sam on an interview, and he was talking about it. The space has already been picked out, and it will be in Times Square in New York. And that's a big deal. You know what I mean? I thought Venice Beach was a big deal. You know what I mean? Like getting it out there on Venice Beach. But, they have, like I said, this is going to be the fourth store, and they already have the space picked out. And I just think that that's a big deal, because I could see Marathon Burger and those shiny lights and everything. And the song Real Big, that just playing in my head. Like when you have, that's what manifestation is all about. When you have an idea and you continue to see it all the way through. So I think that is going to be a great location. And I just wish them continued success with Marathon Burger and with the Marathon clothing and with everything.
Yes. I think out in Times Square also, it's not going to have that nothing going down, because I've been in Times Square even at 4:00 in the morning. It's lit. Everybody's out there having fun, and it's they're not going to have that, none of that negative out there. That's for sure. I believe really wholeheartedly that it's going to go down beautiful.
Good. Hey, Ben Pretty, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining.
Hey, niece, what's going on with you?
Hey, Nene.
Yeah, that's going to be a high dollar location as well because of what you was just saying, Sav, about how it's in a city that don't sleep.
Yes,
You,
man.
you know, you can rest assured that's going to be a high dollar location for them.
Yeah, not just that. Apparently that shit is really good.
That's what I heard.
It's not just
I
some
heard-
celebrity gimmick. The food is supposed to actually be good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I know growing up, In-N-Out Burger was a big deal. Whenever me and Kasabi would go to Southern California and we would stay with our dad, one of our stops would always be In-N-Out Burger. And one thing about an In-N-Out Burger is it was good. You know what I mean? In-N-Out Burger was good. So now they got Marathon Burger competing and superseding basically with that whole, with the little seasoning in it, you know, with some flavor. So I am very proud of the mission that they are on to put it, and I hope that they have more locations ahead. I see it growing and growing and growing.
They took really a lot of time making sure it had a distinctive taste. They tried this, they tried that. They had a panel of people that would try how this tastes, how that one tastes. Do we need to tweak this? Do we need to tweak that? I mean, they took their time really trying to get the taste down, and I can't wait to taste one. I can't wait to have one.
Well, I remember it's been probably 4 years ago when we went out to LA for my birthday, and we went by Slauson and Crenshaw, and it was gated up. We went by, we took pictures by the mural. We went, we had a nice time. We actually went to Venice Beach, but that location was not there at the time. So I can't wait till the next time when we go back to LA and we're able to go and take pictures and actually go and taste the burger and just have a full event. But yeah, I remember going out there and just feeling a certain kind of way about the energy when you go to Crenshaw and Slauson. You know what I mean? It ain't no game out there, that's for sure. You know, I had my son with me, and I was just like, son, you can't have on no rig. Like, you really, the politics is still there. Let's just say that.
Absolutely.
The politics is still there, but also you can feel the energy from the love of Nipsey. You know, we got a couple of Crenshaw shirts, and it just feels sad to see that happened to him, but glad to see the way that they honor him.
It was a lot of celebrities there too. I mean, I seen on one of the clips that Stevie Wonder was there.
Oh yeah, and that's what I thought when I thought they were shooting around him. I was like, I know goddamn well. You know what I'm saying?
I know they ain't got Stevie running, right?
Stevie Wonder is a musical genius.
Yeah, when I see Stevie in the pictures, I say, hold on, man. Hold on.
Stevie said, oh, goddamn, not this shit. But yeah, not just Stevie Wonder. I can't think right offhand. But I seen him on one of the clips at the counter.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a beautiful thing, and it's not just about what it represents for Nipsey and the whole marathon camp. You know, just to take it back to what his goal was when he was still here, was to provide the blueprint for any team of people that was trying to, you know, reach out for bigger things in their community. And so when we see that progression, we see that's the blueprint that he spoke about being laid out to show that this isn't that we got something special sort of energy that we making this happen. It's that we really got a team of people who are aligned mentally and internally, and we're all putting our energy toward the pushing of this particular product. You know what I mean? So to see that coming to pass, it's like, okay, they laid out they formulated the blueprint, and now they're laying it out so that it's accessible for other people to observe and then emulate it or imitate it in their own circles, in their own realms, and affect the community in their own way. You know what I mean?
I think that's great
to me.
Well, one of the other things that, you know, I think is important too, is just what you said. It's like, everybody has a niche. You know what I mean? Black Sam played his part in the behind the scenes when Nipsey was still alive, in keeping him motivated and telling him like this, you know, on the business side of things, while Nip was still doing the music and while he was out here being prolific. You know what I mean? But I think that that's important in every group to realize where your strong suits are. Who is, you know, somebody, everybody don't need to be out on the forefront. Everybody don't need to be the one making the music. Like, find out what you're good at in your group, in your family circle, in your business circle, and everybody play to their strengths.
Without a doubt.
And see, basically, for Black Sam and Nipsey, even though we didn't realize it so blatantly at the time, putting out that music wasn't nothing but another product to them niggas, because they was already selling shit left and right.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So them niggas was selling everything to get their money to further the enterprise. You get what I'm saying? So I like the fact that even though it's all said and done and they took Nipsey away, it just goes to show that it was really hustle in that shit that made it all happen to begin with. And that's what, you know, them niggas just some hustling motherfuckers over there. Black Sam ain't playing on me.
No,
not at all.
Yeah, well, you think about the story of I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good.
You think about the story of him being the CD and DVD man, and the fact that he made, you know, over $250,000 doing that. We all seen them dudes throughout the city, all over the place. And you have to understand how rigid he was about his grind to come up with that kind of money off of that sort of hustle. So that, I think that speaks volume to his mindset off the rip.
I think that is an important point that you're making right there, because the hustle was definitely there, but that's his name, Nipsey Hussle. So he had the hustle, you know, he understood what part of the hustle was. But if you think about it, back in the day, people was buying them 3 for 5s, 5 for 20 of the DVDs and the CDs that were burned. I mean,
hell yeah. And you got to think about that area they were in.
Yeah.
I'm saying it was Sam that did that though. That wasn't Nip.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, because Sam, he was selling clothes on those and so they kept getting blurped, and so they was like, what do we got to do to where we can come out here and hustle this shit without getting blurped by these police every time? And then that's when they started figuring out licenses and permits and shit like that, and then that led to them figuring out the storefront in itself. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I said, and that's why when Nipsey said the only distinguishing qualities that they had was that they never quit on a mission once they set out for that shit.
Correct. And he also said that he allowed himself to feel every emotion as he went through it. You know, and every day ain't gonna be sunshines and rainbows. You know, it's some days they're gonna feel like, you know, like you said, the cops blurping them and saying, hey, you got to get from over here, you know, shutting down shop, grabbing all their shirts, grabbing all they move, you know, like, and they have to start from scratch. I also heard a story, don't know how true to the fact it is, but I believe it was, you know, a story that was told about how they had buried a whole bunch of money while Sam was locked up. And then some of the money got wet. And so they took a loss in that. But when you think about the fact that sometimes you got to take losses, L is a lesson. Really, you know, it's not always a loss. It just gives you more strength to come back even harder, and they learn something from it. But it just, you know, through all of that, they still stood tall, and now look at where it is today.
Opening up a burger spot in major cities like it's nothing. Major locations.
Yeah. Take off like McDonald's.
Man.
Because what's going to happen is they're going to franchise it, because they basically put the blueprint. So people are going to go to these tourist locations and have this marathon burger. And when they leave, they're going to be like, shit, I want that shit somewhere else. So that's what's like Sam, like I said, he is so fucking smart, man. Business
ahead of his time. Yeah, ahead of his time.
Like I was saying, I seen on a documentary, they there would be kids in the room having visuals, just dreaming, man, when we gonna do this, and man, we're gonna do that, and da 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 this, da da da, and just every time, just Sam just sitting up there getting the blueprint, changing the blueprint, redoing the blueprint, getting it down. He's writing verses. He's writing the plan down.
Right.
Well, they do have a sister too, but I was gonna say it's only 2 of them. It's 4 of us. What the fuck are we doing, guys? Like, let's get to it.
Hey, look, this right here is part of it.
Yes,
we got to pat ourselves on the back. We ain't gonna say we don't got it. We're gonna say we gonna get it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. So look, you guys ever watch the movie and shit, and it's like the doctor or the important motherfucker in the movie walks over to his little table and grabs the little flask. Look.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous, damn it, 'cause I ain't doing none of
that. Hey, I'm all feeling important and shit. Go over here and grab the flask and pour it into there and
shit. Yeah. So, just to transition into another story of business and positivity. Let me make sure I got it right. Walter Johnson, Mr. I can't even get that part out.
Tendernism.
Mr. Tendernism. So yeah, it's a story that had been circulating for a little bit of time now. But one of the things I came across this week was an update to the story. So you probably already heard that this particular individual had got with a owner of a coffee shop, and in order to promote his coffee business, decided to throw a barbecue for the community with Walter Johnson as the grill master. And the turnout was so overwhelmingly large that coffee shop then transitioned into a smokehouse. So long story short, the coffee shop owner took all this expertise from Mr. Tendernism and was applying it to his business and earning coin off it, and went behind this man's back and got a patent for the whole Tendernism get down, Mr. Tendernism get down. So he's not only making money off of this dude's expertise, he then stole the name behind it. Long story short, a particular attorney, whose name I don't know, but he caught wind of the story, and he reached out to Mr. Johnson and got with him and helped him to recover the rights to the patent of the Mr. Tendernism. And so now it's being used for the proper thing, that the individual who came up with it is the one that's getting paid out. And I think that's a beautiful thing. We know people do backsliding ass shit, but when it comes full circle and you able to stand in the spot you was meant to stand in to begin with, it's a beautiful thing.
I think it's great. Some people probably don't know who we're talking about, but you may have seen the video on social media, whether it been on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok, where he slams the meat, whatever meat it is, and everything just literally falls off the bone. It's nothing there left but bone. And he said tendernism. You know what I mean? So it just goes to show that you gotta be mindful. And then he would like grab the meat. It make your mouth water if you see him do it. Like it's like he had it down to a science. And I know we got Cali Grill District, which does the same type of things. But Mr. Tendernism, he's been doing it for a long time because this is an older man. And it just goes to show people will take advantage of you and what you have if you don't have a business sense. If he just wanted to go work at Destination Smokehouse, he probably felt like, hey, I'm doing my thing. I get to work over here at this restaurant. I get to do my, unbeknownst to him, this man had a plan and a plot the whole time. So it
wasn't even Destination Smokehouse though. That came from working with him. It was a coffee shop originally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's what makes it even crazier.
So once he seen that going good, he said, "Forget the coffee. We moving into the smokehouse." Wow, that's even
Mhm,
worse. That's even
mhm.
worse.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
did.
but the good thing. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The good thing is nowadays, through a lot of fighting, that's why the music industry changed a lot too. Is when you have intellectual property now, like it virtually can't be stolen. If you can track, if you could just like, obviously he probably had a million witnesses. It was like, I've been seeing him do that since 1984 or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So I guess he was saying, so he patented the word tendernism.
the whole Mr. Tenderism thing. And see, I think what helped him, like how you're saying about if you have proof, is there was documented video evidence of him being the man behind it all, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's how he was able to secure that patent for himself, no doubt.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's what I like about the legal system today. That's when these artists finally started getting paid, is when they was like, there's no way you can have all of somebody's something. They can't necessarily sign that away. Like they was basically saying that you could sign away all your publishing. And it's like, wait a minute. No, you actually can't, because that's fucking somebody way too raw. You know what I'm saying?
What's old boy's name? Don't give me the line. The dude from Parliament.
George.
It's George Clinton.
Yes.
That's what happened to him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He to this day, the only money he makes off of his music is touring, because he signed away his publishing on what was supposed to be a temporary basis to get an advance on the projects they were putting out. And behind his back, what was really going on is like, yeah, no, we gonna formulate this contract in a way to where you'll never get the publishing back. And that's exactly what happened to him. Yeah.
Yeah,
that whole little setup, all the background people, they all jacked up.
The crazy part is you still see all of those songs on commercials to this day.
And he ain't eating off none of it.
That shit bananas. That shit bananas.
But he's the only one that has anything from it, though, because everybody else don't got nothing.
Yeah, I watched a episode of Unsung, and something I learned on there that I didn't know before is that whether it's a Funkadelic album or it's a Parliament album, it's all the same people.
Yes.
He was sharp enough to know, like, we can do this Funkadelic sound, because the funk music was in at the time, but we can also do this futuristic space type shit, whatever we got going on under Parliament. So, one camp of musicians pumping out albums under two different names, two different types of sounds. Like, and I say all that just to demonstrate the volume of money that they missed out on because somebody, slid him a faulty contract or adjusted the contract after they got a signature. I don't know exactly how it went down, but nonetheless, though, there was a whole lot of music that the publishing was stolen for.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think that highlights the point of being knowledgeable, the importance of what up, Neff? The importance of being knowledgeable in your business endeavors. It's not enough to have business savvy or the ability to hustle something. You got to know the ins and outs of the particular industry that you're doing the hustling in, because at the end of the day, there's always a snake in the grass that's looking to take a bite of what you built. You know what I mean? So yeah, the knowledge of your particular industry is extremely important.
I think it's important to seek legal counsel when you get to a certain, phase in whatever career endeavor or business endeavor that you want to go to, not
Mhm.
necessarily getting an attorney on your payroll, but seeking out legal help. And sometimes they could be the shark though too, so you never know. But you
Definitely.
just want to have like you said, a business mind, a business forward mindset of what are all the pieces to this puzzle, because it's not just about making the music, as you say, or it's not just about tendernism. There's some behind the scenes stuff that has to go along with it. So sometimes you need to seek out legal counsel just to get advice on what are the things to protect yourself.
Mhm.
Anytime somebody gives you a contract, you better go to a lawyer.
Without a doubt. And I think we're all familiar with the phrase of being a student of the game, and I think the point I'm really trying to make is that we got to be a student of every game that we playing. So it's not enough to be in it. Excuse me, you got to be in it to the degree of knowing the inner workings of that game, what makes it tick, what goes on the sidelines, so to speak, the whole get down. You really got to be a student of any and every game that you play. That way, you don't get played.
Yeah. No, that's real talk. That's real talk. To piggyback on the tenderism, I did see him with Ronald Isley doing some barbecue for his family and stuff. So it's not over for tenderism. It's actually just beginning for him to embark on his new direction, not underneath the wing or the tutelage of somebody else. He gets to go his own way and soar to whatever heights. So even though he's an older man and he's been in the game for a long time, this is truly just like the beginning of a whole bunch of greatness for him. So congratulations to him on his new endeavors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most
Shout out to Ronald Isley as well. Brother got to be like 90.
I don't think he's 90, bro. Okay.
He's not far from it. He's
he might be
pretty close to it because they've been in business for 50 years.
Yeah, because I feel like we got to look at that now.
Ronald Isley age.
He's 82.
He's 84.
He's 84. He is 84.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, but he holding it down for 84 though.
Absolutely.
Something Morgan Freeman was saying about age, and he was on some little talk show, and the guy asked him a question. He said, so I heard that you got a secret about gracefully aging from Clint Eastwood, and he said, you mind sharing what that secret is? And I guess Clint told him, never let the old man in. And so what he was saying is you got to be young internally in your mind, and I think we see that with Ronald Isley. It don't matter what his age is, he still got that youth in him when it comes to that hustle and the music and all that. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I was looking at an old video of Tina Turner. It's not old, but it was a video of her performing at a concert, and we see people like Chris Brown, flying across the stadium. But Tina Turner in her high heels walked along this long strip, like up, and was like performing. And I was saying, dang, and she was older. So it's just older is a mindset. You got to remember, like by the time she broke away from Ike Turner and then started out her career and really came out with What's Love Got to Do with It, she was older then, right? Mm-hmm. But she traveled and she toured and she did a lot of things. Shaka Khan, Patti LaBelle. We still see these artists out here performing because you got to remember they weren't making the wage that these artists are making now.
Not at all. Yeah.
So they didn't have artists now can put something back, right? And then still have a healthy life, but they weren't making a lot of money then. So they still had to travel and do a lot of stuff even as they got older. So, older is definitely a mindset. And as a hashtag Team Pisces with a birthday coming up, older is a mindset. Older is a mindset. And so we don't get older, we get wiser.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think there's some truth in the don't let the old man in, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? There's some truth in that because I still think how I used to think as a kid and shit. I still be thinking like how we used to be doing all them skits and all that shit and all these weird sound effects and voices and all that shit. I still do all that shit right now.
Well, so with the fact that you do all that means it's a gift that is of you. You know, it's from you, by you, and so you still have to pursue those things because it's not something that you ever lost sight of along the way. As
It's
annoying
kinda like-
as it was to have two brothers making sound effects all the time, doing stuff all the. I mean, it was annoying at that time growing up. But I still believe now, like y'all could utilize that stuff to your advantage.
Just think of how much life we brought to all the gatherings with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Man, if we only had any of it recorded.
So anyway, I'll tell it like this, family. From now on, I'm gonna be working on some skits. Bear with me. Don't take nothing personal. We just, you know what I'm saying? I just be having my own little things going on. I'll be wanting to make skits about it.
I guess Murtaugh is in the building.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I can hear you. I'm talking about that comment.
Right. I was like, I just didn't say anything. Hey, I'm Roger. Hey, sis. I don't know who that is, so reveal yourself. But hey,
he is he's a family member of Rodney. He's his cousin. We have the same last name.
Okay. All
well,
right.
thank you for joining. We
appreciate you, fam.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't mean
So
to throw
always
off
say, when
I
he
just
sees me, he says,
somebody was like talking to one of y'all, and I was like, "How come they ain't said nothing yet?"
I did not know who it was. That's why I seen "Hey sis." I was like, all my siblings is on the panels. I don't know who that is.
Roger, that's a special force.
No, but thank you, Roger, for jumping in.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So I was wanting to see if somebody could download a picture of Jim Carrey.
Oh Lord.
Oh, he looks bad.
If we could, and then you could make it your background for just a temporary moment so that everybody could get a dose of what we are talking about as we move into our one of our other topics. So recently, 64-year-old Jim Carrey made a recent public appearance, and there was a lot of questions from people asking, was that really him? Was it an impersonator? Has he been cloned? Like, what's going on here? But I feel like in order to get the depth of the story, we need to actually see the picture to get an idea. Are we able to pull? Is anybody able to pull that picture up?
Yeah, I mean, I can get to it, but the ability to get it on here right
is
away,
a little difficult.
It's going to take some time. So
I'm like, if you save it, we can put it as your background, like we have the.
Yeah, I know, but I got to get it onto the platform, is what I'm saying. So give me a minute. We can talk about it in the meantime.
Okay.
Okay.
So
it's the flash.
So let me go. I want to look up something now too, because I want to see. I know we all know who Jim Carrey is, right? I know it's Diesel and Valley for sure. Jim Carrey, he was one of them making sound effects, doing all kinds of weird stuff too. So on a comedian level, we love Jim Carrey. I know him from In Living Color. I know Jim Carrey, you know, Vera, what was it I used to call you?
Vera DeMilo. Yeah.
Vera DeMilo. But he, and Fire Marshal Bill. Yeah, he tell you something. But everybody knows who Jim Carrey is. Go ahead, sister.
He got off the grid because he was tired of the business, how the business side, the politics of business. That's why he jumped out of the game for a bit because he was about to go off on somebody.
Right. Well, there was a lot of politics, you know, well, him being a white man, him seeing it for what it really is, having been brought into the game by blacks, you know what I mean, and respected by a lot of his fan base. He had a variety of people. Let's just say that it wasn't just Caucasian people, but him being a Caucasian man, I'm sure they wanted him to cross over, and I'm sure that he was exposed to a lot of stuff that he wasn't happy about, or that he wasn't in agreement with. So let me try to look up, because I want to be a little more specific. I like to have facts on the show. So let's see. Carrie.
So it's clear that he made himself Asian.
Wow. It's clear that he made himself Asian?
He has an Asian wife, so like if you look at the photos, it showed basically all the times he's been getting awards and doing that stuff. He literally looks different every time.
He's a chameleon.
He looks different every time.
Yeah. I mean, I could agree with that.
I know this is going to sound funny to you guys, but Jim Carrey was the Grinch.
Man,
I didn't do that. Yeah.
Huh?
You didn't know that?
Saying. That's why I was like,
that's what I meant when I said I really rocked with Jim Carrey. Like, I don't think they was gonna fool me like that. It just, you know.
Man, I don't know. The picture is questionable.
Picture is questionable. I can't. So I see the picture of. Let me go. Recent appearance. Recent photo.
And it's 2026. You can't pop out with, you know what I said? It's a million angles of that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we clearly live in a time and age where people, we know that they clone people. We know that they do have the ability. We also know that there's impersonators. There's Mariah Carey impersonators, Michael Jackson impersonators. So, there's impersonators. But is there a deeper story to it than what it just looks like? He looks weird.
Right. I don't think it's illegal to have a impersonator go pick up your award.
I'm gonna say straight up and down, it wasn't just the look. If you've seen the actual live video of him talking, that was the only thing that made me say, maybe there's something to this. It just didn't seem like him. Not like I know the dude, like he said in Ace Ventura, do you know him? Does he call you at home? It ain't like I know the dude. It's just, I didn't seen him in a lot of different angles, in a lot of different live action movies, and it just seemed weird to me. That's all. Yeah.
Anybody who is on the live right now, if you could take a minute to share the live, to comment on the live. We appreciate all communications. Thank you, Roger. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for joining us. But anybody else who's on the live, if you could just take a minute to hop in, let us know where you're watching from and who you are. We appreciate all of that as well.
Without a doubt.
Yes, thank you.
We're trying to grow our platform. And, and part of doing that is anybody who taps in, we want to know that you tapped in. We want to acknowledge you. If you have any questions about the way that we're doing our thing out here, Diesel, I just now noticed that your destination is set up and not mine. Okay, I see y'all trying to switch up.
Or that's what we said on the thing, man.
And I ain't touched nothing. That's the funny part.
I did it because that's what we talked about. That's what we
discussed. That is what we talked about.
You try to call nobody out up in here?
No, because I got to see where my comments is at. Oh, you ain't even. Don't worry. Ain't nobody here to see you. What did they say? Ain't nobody came to see you.
Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis.
Yeah.
Yeah, D's got 4 people and 4 corners got 3.
Okay.
How are you? So yeah, D's got 4 people on his live. I do see that, but I can't see who the 4 people are. So if they would like to reveal yourselves.
There we go. Okay.
For some reason, I'm coming in delayed again, and I thought I had worked that out when we first started the show. I was good, but I'm coming in a little delayed right now.
All right, and he's joining from Sacramento, Sacktown, where we put our Mac down.
That's right.
It's always gonna be always 916. Okay. So we got him joining us from Sacramento. He said, I just love to see our people with their own past podcast, making it happen, good vibes and good topics. I'll be tapping in as much as I can. And we appreciate that. We spread the word through
Yes,
the city.
thank you.
Through the city. Yeah. Love that.
Thank you for the love.
Hold on.
Say, hey, look, I'm about to do them how they do us, because I mean, hey, Marlon, look up. Say cheese.
Hey, I'm over here doing a task that you asked me to do.
Right, I'm trying to bring some traffic in. Look,
Shit,
it's
I
10,
told you it
it's
wasn't
10.
to
Look
me.
how many people it is now.
Talk no shit to me.
Exactly. Like the live. Come on, share and like the live. We love it.
Okay, what's up, everybody? Y'all, if you just tapped in, this is the Four Corners Legacy Podcast, and we trying to get this thing going. So that's why we trying to have people tap in and leave likes, subscribes, and shares.
All right, exactly. Join
Right.
us on YouTube. You can follow our YouTube page at Four Corners Legacy Podcast. And you can subscribe, you can like, and you can comment. If you missed any of the previous shows, you can go back there and watch the shows. Again, this is season 3. We've been at this for a while. This is season 3, episode 4. But if you want to go back and watch some old shows, you can do that as well. We have some pretty good topics and a lot that we cover over from start till now. We're just trying to grow and expand our podcast.
Did y'all? Okay, so I thought one of our other topics.
No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Hold up, slow up.
Just looking through the internet, that shit is banana.
Bananas, bro.
Oh
Okay?
man.
The takeover was real. So right now we are just trying to see if we can elaborate a little bit on the invasion of the body snatchers of Jim Carrey. If not, we'll move on to our next topic momentarily.
Man, this is crazy.
Well, you know, they cloned Tyrone, so.
They did clone Tyrone. You know, I always have had random people go, you know, with a different name, ask me and then say, you look just like somebody I know. No. See, that's where you're wrong. There's only one of me, baby. There could never be two. But
Well,
Right.
right is kept.
Right.
Anytime you went under anesthesia, you were cloned.
oh my God, I've been cloned.
If you underwent anesthesia, then you were effectively cloned.
I don't even want
You
to
know-
have this conversation, bro. They got me then. They got me.
Yeah. And they tell you to count backwards from 10 and all that shit. That's what, and then when you go out and you wake back up, oh, best believe it was 2 of you.
Oh no.
Well, they got me too, because I've been under anesthesia once before also.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I know what my mindset and what my ability. I'm not trying to brag, but I do have a star quality. Like I walk into a room, a lot of people do pay attention to me when I walk into a room. When I speak, people like want to hear what I have to say. I do have the ability to like touch lives and stuff. I know that I like somebody would want to clone me. Like I understand how great I am. Like I do. I
I'm
understand.
in the
it.
building that I'm feeling myself.
Right.
Hey, blame it on the.
I
blame
mean, well,
it on
that's
the
all mama's
Tennessee-
kids.
Blame it on the Tennessee Jack Daniels with a little bit of honey in there. Just blame it on that.
I heard that.
Roger says, do we welcome topics or do we just focus on what we have on the agenda? No, we welcome any topics. If you have an idea, go ahead and put it in the chat.
Absolutely. We love to feel, be connected with our community and what's going on in the community.
This is crazy. Like when I looked it up on my phone, because I'm gonna just try to share the screen because it's too much to be doing it last minute. But when I looked it up on my phone, shit instantly popped up on this computer. Like, yeah, keep trying, buddy. Don't give up. Never give up. You
never give up. Never give up.
They don't want nobody to see this shit or something.
Well, there's things people that they don't want you to see. Now, this is to piggyback on the topic that we covered 2 weeks ago. Daquan Johnson, black man that was shot in Grand Rapids, Michigan by the police and basically killed right on the sidewalk for no reason. I noticed that when I go to look up more stuff, because I'm like trying to do a follow-up on that, and I can't find information about it. Like they make sure that they only let you see what they want you to see.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
That was one of the things Chucky did when he got into office, was make sure that the news media was only publicizing the things that he thought was important. He wouldn't let anybody coming in the news to do interviews, to report. Certain reporters can come in. He's trying to control all of that.
Right. Well, I just think that that's sad. I did see that Daquan Johnson's mother was at a city council meeting and that she had addressed the council, still trying to get the proper answers. And as of yet, I have yet to see any follow-up as far as any arrest of the officers who brutally killed him right there on the street. I have yet to see any follow-up on a weapon that they discovered or any real reason why it happened. I also did want to mention, since we have a little bit of downtime, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I have to do this for the young man who lost his life. There was a...
Are y'all able to see this?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So, I mean, if you look at that one right there where it says Jim Carrey clone, and just look at that dude's face.
It's crazy. I mean, I don't see any reason why he would have had to have plastic surgery. Like, why would he have wanted to have
nose looks fake.
The cheekbones do too.
Yeah.
I think it's very strange.
Like a latex mask.
Well, there's people saying that that's exactly what it was. And supposedly, and I wish I could have found it, but supposedly somebody came out and said that he was an actor and that he played the role of Jim Carrey at that award show, that it was not the actual Jim Carrey. Wow. So I don't know.
That could be a good possibility.
But that one
is saying,
right
I heard that
says,
someone had a mask on. She's saying she heard that someone had a mask on. So
if you look at the one where it says 2006 versus 2026, and
that's crazy.
It's like, okay, the chin, cool. That nose, I don't know. Them cheeks, I don't know. But here's the real kicker. The eyes. Like, look at how the eyes are set on the actual Jim Carrey that we know versus this. I don't know what the fuck that is.
That's mask shit.
Yeah, it just looks strange to me.
It's like they pulled it. Something is weird. That is weird.
Strange,
It doesn't really look like human skin to me.
It just doesn't look like him, and it doesn't look like him. It doesn't look like the I don't see
fake though. That's what
Jim Carrey always looked funny, but he never looked like a bitch. And this dude looks like a bitch to me. He looks like somebody's auntie in a suit. I'm sorry, like
I don't see liar. Like, I'm just trying to find Jim Carrey. Where the hell is Jim Carrey? That is crazy.
Let's see if we can get a comparison on the hands. Obviously, they'd have a comparison on the hands as well.
Well, the hands, I don't know what Jim Carrey's hands look like, but I know what his face looked like.
Right.
And
And
that
so
ain't
it's
it.
like, yeah, we don't know what we would be looking at that point, you know? But even this one down here, like that shit crazy. Oh, that's the same one. Yeah. But look
That's
at
the Jim Carrey I
That's a
know
big-
right there.
It's
That's
Keanu Reeves.
Jim Carrey.
That is
I know
Keanu Reeves. That is Keanu Reeves.
that.
That is not the same man. That's not the same man.
Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Okay.
That shit bananas.
It really is. Yeah.
The teeth look different.
The way
all
he
that
holds his
shit.
lip, look. I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
it's a lot, homie. It's
and
a
the
lot.
cheeks
He
are
grew more
super
chin.
cool.
But it's definitely the cheekbones. I mean, he already had high cheekbones, we could see, but now they're like big balls underneath his eyes. Like I don't like it. I'm unhappy with that.
It looked like a mask. I still
Invasion
stand
of the
around that.
Body Snatchers is exactly what I said, bro. I said the same thing.
And they say the eyes is the window to the soul.
Yes.
The vibrance in the eyes of that individual on the right do not match the eyes of Jim Carrey at any point in time that we've known.
So
him.
look, so do this. Take that picture that you got, the 206 versus, and cut the bottoms of the face off and only look at the eyes, and it's bananas.
Yeah.
Well, I can already
Yeah.
see that it looks, because if I just look at only half of it from
Same
like
motherfucker.
the nose down, it doesn't look like him. But again, someone could have, you have the right to have somebody go pick up your award on your behalf, right? Anybody can do that. I've seen stars do that over the years. It's like, oh, I'm so-and-so couldn't make it. I'm here to accept the award for them. But to show up pretending to be him and looking like that is crazy work.
It looks, if you hold the mouth and the nose out of the picture, it literally looks like two different people.
Yeah. Yeah. If you just look at the eyes, there's something there,
Put up that comment, Valley. Put up that
Okay,
comment.
hold on. Let me come out of here. You could do that too.
I know. It doesn't matter. I'm drinking.
I know, and I'm over here sharing the screen, motherfucker.
Ah!
Okay, all these Twilight movies back in the early whatever years that was with Rod Sterling, all this crap is coming to life. And see, I can't even speak on that because
Yeah.
I never got into them Twilight films.
I was never into
I'm
Twilight,
not sure
but
if he's talking about those Twilight films.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Okay, let's see.
I believe
They have really good with Mask, and I believe that's what it is. Yeah,
It looks
Mask.
like a mask.
Because the eyes tell the story. That ain't him.
that's horrible. I
But
don't
it's
even
not
know
illegal to do that, I don't think.
why would he want to look like that though. That's not the Jim Carrey that we want to see.
It's not him.
Clearly, people didn't. It wasn't well received because a lot of people started talking about it immediately. Valley's not the only one who was like, "Whoa, that ain't Jim Carrey." There was a lot of people who said that. So
there's somebody I follow on Instagram, and she uses these little instruments or whatever to so-called speak to spirits, people, the spirits in the spirit realm. And she was using the things, and she could ask, pointed questions, and depending on how these instruments move, it determines a yes or a no answer. And so she did like 2 parts on it. But long story short, the shit said it wasn't him, and that she asked if he was okay, and it said no.
oh wow,
Yeah, it was. I mean, so it's a lot, man. And I know all of that is speculative, but.
Javon
Ben Pretty said the elite might have got him, and it's true because he was woke before his time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was the real.
He
He was
wasn't
the real
allowing
woke.
it.
He was the real woke, not this hijacked version of woke that we be hearing
Look,
about,
look.
but like the real woke.
So you got to say it all though. The elite might have got him eyes bulging.
I mean, it's possible, man. Anything, anything could have happened with dear old Jim, because he one
Jim,
of my favorites, because
you
there's
know,
comedy and then there's comedy with a twist of sickness, and he brings that comedy with a twist of sickness that makes you feel like, okay, there's other people who have these twisted ass sense of humor.
Definitely twisted sense of humor.
And he don't got no motherfucking shame.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he was hella funny in Cable Man.
Oh, Cable Guy. Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I always thought he was funny, even back on In Living Color. But when he started doing films, it was like he just was unhinged. That first Ace Ventura, off the chain. Yeah, see? That's when I knew. I said, this motherfucker is sick.
That nigga was making his ass talk with his hands.
Yes. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
I mean, but Liar was funny too. He did do some good stuff.
When the little boy said to him, "But Dad, my teacher said that beauty is only skin deep." Oh, well, son, that's just something that ugly people say. Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm burning up in here.
Yeah, that's
all right. So are we ready to move into our final topic of the day? I feel like this one is gonna get a lot of traction.
Let's go, baby.
Man, hey, look, wait. We gotta pull up like the social media pictures and shit. Like,
well, that was supposed to be done yesterday. You niggas
you
ain't gonna have me on that again, okay?
To get any of that up to the date. So if you would like to do the media side of it, but we cannot, it would not be a great podcast show if we did not talk about the beef going on between 50 Cent and T.I.
T.I. and
boy, oh boy.
Because it's T.I. and company at this point.
T.I. and family at this point, for sure. For sure. So I would like the record to reflect that I am a fan of both 50 Cent and of T.I. Prior to some of the antics up here now, I've been a fan of 50. Even when everybody talks about 50 and they're like, 50 goes low, 50 does this. And I'm just like, I love 50. I've been saying it. And I know you guys view it a little bit differently. You feel like 50 has sold his soul to tell only the drug dealer side of the story. He glamorizes that part of it. And so you have not been fans of 50 prior to this. But I want to say, starting out, I was a fan of both. But one thing you ain't gonna ever do is play with T.I. and Tiny. That's just, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So I feel like the response, it started out with a versus battle, a request of T.I. just saying, hey, I'm just following up. He wanted to follow up. He wanted to get 50 in a versus battle. This is the part that I want to make sure that we address. I want to make sure we address several parts of this beef. But one of the things I want to address is that he wanted to do a versus battle with 50. And 50 was like, nah, you's a rat. You on paperwork and this and that. And I'm just like, wait a second. Is it really? Because I feel that in a versus, T.I. would have mopped the floor with 50 on his tracks because he has more music to me. Would you guys agree that T.I. would have won a versus against 50?
Absolutely.
Never.
I agree.
Nah, never.
Well, because
I love 50 too, but T.I. got
understand the whole purpose of a versus. It's not I'm the better artist. It's about who has more hits. It's your hits versus mine. 50 don't right. I mean, you got to think about the collaborations that T.I. has been on. Any song he featured on that went to the moon, he gets to pull that out in the verses. He's slaughtering 50 in the verses if we keep it to the understanding of what it mean. Because people be like, oh, verses. Well, he's better. It ain't got shit to do with it. Hit for hit, who wins? T.I. wins that hands down.
Right.
You
It's a lot of money. The only reason I said that because they like 50 got like a serious cult following. They're just on his nuts.
I mean, and I would like to say that I'm part of 50's following. Like I like 50 Cent. I do, but I just do believe. Okay, so one of our Ben Pretty said no, especially with the G Unit. And facts, like 50 had PIMP with Snoop. He had some songs, Candy Shop, Window Shopper. Like he has hits. Let's be clear.
I'm not saying that. T.I. got more.
I do too. I agree.
Yeah, T.I. got more. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. And
you know, we met 50 Cent.
I ain't never been a fan of neither one of them because I can't say I'm a fan of somebody if I haven't committed to like buying their shit, you know, downloading the list. I ain't never did that with neither one of them.
That's why I'm quiet as fuck.
I'm a fan of either one.
The T.I. playlist.
That's why I'm quiet because I ain't never bought a 50 album or a T.I. album.
Yeah.
But again, I'm a little biased, and I ain't gonna, you know, when I lived in Atlanta, I did actually see T.I. in person, and it was actually when they were doing the Black Lives Matters movement, and he came out to speak at the Capitol down in downtown Atlanta, and I just thought that was he stood for something else other than the rap music. So let's just be clear that I liked him for that as well. Okay, but go ahead, Tusab. We did meet 50 Cent. Let's be clear.
Y'all met him or y'all was next to him? There's a difference.
Yes, we did. No. We were at the All-Star game. And
if somebody hands you a glass of champagne, I consider that an introduction.
Right. And he handed me a glass of champagne, and he said, would they like a glass of champagne also? And so he gave all of us a glass of champagne. And that was the extent of it, but he didn't
invite us into his section, which we was in we had our own little spot right there next to him. So we
were behind them.
Right. So we didn't need to have a part of it, but up close and personal, I had a different respect for 50 Cent. I was like, okay, I wasn't really a fan until I wasn't. I knew 50 Cent. I cared for some of his music, but I wasn't on his bandwagon like I was for T.I. Now, let's moving forward.
I'm a computer tech now.
I can't stand here. Did you meet him or did you raise your neck to? I can't.
Had to, right quick.
We met him, fathead.
I said I was just fucking around. Come on, like let that go. That's in the past already. I had to just talk.
But you know his little gay friend.
So my question:
you got one more time, too, Saab, and we gonna boot you off this.
Yeah. Shit. You think Jim Carrey got cloned? Watch what we do to yours.
I wish you would.
Oh, here she go. We ain't even got to that yet, Niche. Hold on.
It's okay. We got you covered in due time. Yeah, be patient. Don't just stay in your seat.
I was gonna ask
Woo!
Do we think that 50 Cent is a troll?
He's most certainly a troll.
Yes.
I think everybody would agree on that. Like anybody who says otherwise is they probably, they ride him like Seattle Slew because
he places himself in everything.
Obvious.
Okay. So 50 Cent is a troll, and then he goes around just messing with people. Is that what a troll? Describe a troll. They just go around bothering people all the time, right?
Well, I mean, yeah. Like, okay, I'm going to say some shit, some underhanded shit or whatever. Maybe it's some slick shit, some halfway funny shit, just to get a reaction out of this dude.
Right. Okay. So 50 Cent is a troll. Now, is T.I. a snitch for doing a Crime Stoppers video?
I would say no, because I think people try to have this broad perspective about what snitching is. It's as simple as this. He didn't tell on nobody, you retarded son of a bitch. He did. No, for real, because they need to understand that, like, set your double cup down and grow some brain cells. He didn't tell on nobody. He did a Crime Stoppers commercial as a condition of his probation so that he could go home to his family. So what the streets would have preferred him to do, fuck them kids and my wife. Shit, I'm finna go hold it down for some ghost entity called the streets that has no impact on my real life. He did what a man was supposed to do. And in my opinion, you can't be a man and simultaneously be a street nigga, because to be a street nigga means that you are living in a state of perpetual adolescence. It's childish as fuck. So that's why they can't align with it, because them niggas ain't hit manhood yet.
Okay, fair enough. So 50
Nisha said,
Cent,
not a snitch, but a bitch.
oh wow. And she did say, laugh out loud, I do not like T.I., and that was that. But she also said 50 Cent was a troll. So all those things can be true at the same time, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't because Valley and D's, you guys are not really fans of T.I., you know what I mean? So you guys, would say he's not a snitch, but maybe okay. I
wouldn't even say that. I have an unbiased viewpoint on both of them, because I don't really fuck with either one of them. So anything I'm saying is just from the perspective of observation. You know
as an artist, do you respect them as artists?
I mean, I respect their measure of success, but like, if I respected them as an artist, I would probably be a fan. So I can't say yes to that.
And you, Diesel?
Nah, that's why I haven't really been tapping in, because neither one of them niggas is in my playlist. T.I.'s little new one
That's
for real
crazy to me. You might see me in the streets, but nigga, you don't know me.
Nah,
you don't like.
He got some new shit out that I've been bumping, but I didn't fuck with none of that old shit, that 2007 and all that stuff. I never fuck with none of that.
Motivation.
I'm gonna tell you the time. I'm gonna tell you the time that that T.I. got my attention is when he did that shit with Justin Timberlake, that Dead and Gone. But like, when you're just like, hey, listen to my version of street nigga shit, I'm not impressed. It's barbecue. If I went to 100 different barbecue joints and they all saying they barbecue is the best, that's what you expect them to say. So when I listen to 100 different rappers saying the same exact shit just in their own way, I'm not impressed.
Okay,
so I'm saying, like,
it's on
that
you.
type of shit don't float my boat.
Tusov, are you a T.I. fan?
No.
Wow, 3 out of
And
4.
I
say, I'm sorry.
I am not really a 50 Cent fan. I like some of his songs, and I liked him before he started being the little bitch that he is being right now. I don't got time for someone who's trying to put somebody else down.
Okay. So
he's trying to put whoever down.
I like some of both of their songs. I'll say it like this. Even with T.I., I'll go to the extent of saying this. I think he's got superb flow and cadence, and he knows how to rock a mic. But when you're a real hip hop head, the content is the icing on the cake. If you put shit icing on a great cake, it's still a shitty cake. And the content, it don't move me.
I disagree. But
that's because you ain't a real hip hop head.
Exactly. Like and furthermore,
there's a difference. If you ain't judging the content, you are not a real hip hop head.
My age makes me supersede you guys in hip hop.
No, you don't. You supersede us in dance music, nigga. If you're a real hip hop head, you're judging the content. If you ain't judging the content,
right,
you are not a hip hop head. Period.
Spit bar for bar the Sugar Hill Gang right now.
This motherfucker, who you think you talking to?
A hip hop, a hippie to the
hippie. You spit it.
Don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang boogie, up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogity bee. And what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat. No, I'm just saying that.
And my friends are gonna try to move your feet. Now I am Wonder Mike, and I'd like to say hello. Don't play with me, nigga. I know what I'm okay. Don't play with me. You were supposed to dig a little deeper than that. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I'm just saying for me,
But
that's how far back my love for hip hop goes is Sugar Hill Gang, which you was just a itch in your daddy's pants. So,
Oh no, I was beyond that. I was alive and
okay,
well.
so
Then.
that's
Obviously, I was listening to it.
that's
I go back to
that's
Jam
rap
on It, all
music.
that. I remember that shit. Even as a little tyke, music is interwoven in my DNA.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
That's-
let's in an effort to stay on topic. So we've already discussed that 50 is a troll. We know that T.I. is not a snitch for having the Crime Stoppers. We all have our opinion on who would have won the verses. Now let's get to where the beef started.
Man, fuck all
What-
that. It's about to be some beef with me and you if you try to tell me I don't know
Come
Sugar
on,
Hill
Biggie,
Gang.
let's do it. Me and you, let's do a versus. I got it.
Hey, look, knock you down, okay?
One of the things that I was gonna say was it okay? So for 50 to then drop a picture of Tiny with her bad BBL, we can all agree that she has some work done and it didn't look proportioned correctly. But was it okay for 50 Cent to bring her into the beef?
It ain't no rules when it's on.
No. But you don't
Diesel?
diss somebody's mama like that.
It ain't no
Oh,
rules.
hold on. We ain't got to the mama yet. We ain't got to the mama. We got okay. Well, Tiny is somebody's mama, but
Yes.
Hey, if they was beefing like that, it ain't no rules when it's on.
you're
That's
right.
the truth.
You're right.
I mean, shit.
So Diesel, you agree that you could
Yeah,
put
that's
Tiny
why
out
it's
there
funny.
like that?
That's why it's funny to me. But I do think like it's ludicrous because Tiny I don't know what happened and who her advisors were, but she's been filmed in some really bad positions, man. There's some horrible photographs out there.
Okay, and we can agree because they had the picture of her drunk, looking like George Washington with the mustache and her face. They've had some horrible pictures of Tiny, but
So look. The best one I seen is her as Daryl from Coming to America with the Soul Glow.
The worst one to me was her as Quaker Oats.
I bet you
As the
learned all
Quaker
that in
Oats
the jungle
person.
fighting animals
The
and
Quaker
shit.
Oats.
Yeah. Because she got that thick ass mustache. That shit looks
That was
bananas.
horrible.
So look, here's the thing you have to consider this. It's like, oh, was it wrong for him to do the picture? It wasn't some
Morally.
exclusive ass picture. It's a picture that we've all already seen. He just was like, in case you forgot.
That wasn't. It had nothing to do with her.
Well,
It had nothing to do
it
with her.
does.
Okay,
It
so
does,
take it a
because
step
when
further.
you beefing
So not only
in
did he,
hip-hop, nothing is off limits.
But
right. Okay, but
But
not
why
only did he
take her
do the
down?
picture, he didn't
Okay.
just do a picture of her. He said actual slander. Well, I don't know if it's slander, but he said rumorous type shit about her as well.
Okay.
Well, that is the
Right.
up to date version. So we're getting to that. We're getting to that. Okay, so that let us say that Tiny was one of the singers in the group Escape. That she's been in the industry a long time. She is a famous songwriter. She's a mother. I don't think that she's portrayed herself in a bad way. So why would you bring her into the beef? That's my thing. Go ahead, Deez. Go ahead.
You know what I think happened? She be riding with T.I. all the time. And I think maybe she probably was talking some shit or something and it got back to that nigga and he was like, oh, Tiny, you want to open her mouth? Okay.
oh, probably.
How about this? We just visualize it as real beef just for a moment.
Okay.
I got real beef with this dude, and he got real beef with me, and I know that it's funk on sight, which means his chick might be with him. This happens in real life all the time. Am I going to say I can't go at him because his chick might get unintentionally involved? The answer to that question is an emphatic no. So just because it's virtual beef, it doesn't change the rules of the game. The minute you say
like Roger Jr. said,
50, you meant everybody in your house wanted with 50 and vice versa. There's no rules when it's on.
Okay.
The son's definitely been involved, and I think that played a part in him going after the mama.
No, he went for the mama first. Okay, so he went for the mama first. Now because we're going in the order of the chain of events for this here beef. So he went for the mama. Since there's no rules, here comes the Son King. He decides to go after 50 Cent's mama and say, your mama's dead, nigga. Like, how you coming for my mama when your mama is whole song? Then the son Damani comes. That's not even his mama. That's his stepmama. But he comes out with a song, Miss Jackson, and wiped the floor with 50. He wiped the floor with 50. And I don't care what nobody say. His song was the ultimate diss. And it wasn't even a bad diss. It was like that. Like everybody considers him like a J. Cole smooth like flow, but the way he put it over that music and that beat, he knocked him down. Well, of course, 50 doesn't stop. So he then goes to his next thing he's going to do is surviving T.I. and Tiny.
Okay, hold on. So I remember he said, 50 Cent said coming up, he was confused. His mom was kissing a girl. Right?
Right.
Okay. And see, I'm coming up, I was confused. My mama was kissing a girl. I never knew that's what he said right there.
Yeah.
Now that he said,
yes, he said that.
Kissing the girl. Yes.
So why would he come after Tiny like that?
that's even more. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you why. It's been said already. Trolling.
But they own his mama's ass too, though, and that's crazy.
They own his mama's ass.
That's crazy.
And for me, and I know I hate to just throw this out there, but this is really the way I look at it. For me, I'm just like, this is what happens when grown men play middle school games with each other. Like, y'all ain't even supposed to be doing this. Like, because this is how it goes. It wouldn't matter if it was in elementary school, middle school, back when niggas was clowning, capping, whatever you wanted to call it in your particular era. You know what I mean? This is how it goes. Oh, your mama?
It's bitch shit.
Yeah. And
well, I mean,
it's less than manly behavior for damn sure.
Yeah, men don't supposed to go back and forth and bicker.
That's why I fucked your wife, nigga.
Right. And it was less than manly behavior when he did it.
Right. He shouldn't have did that. That was a low blow.
No, if we keep it at 100, that's the
a
truth.
low blow.
And you know, I ride with Tupac, but it's like, yeah, you know,
if it's
on like that, if it's on like that, let it be on like that when y'all see each other. Don't.
Well, you just said there's no rules, though. You just said there's no rules.
There is no rules, but that doesn't mean that what you did is manly.
Correct. Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
That's just like Nicki Minaj talking about Cardi B's kids because she don't like Cardi B. That's you don't bring the kids had nothing to do with it.
All them kids be all right.
The family
them little ugly motherfuckers.
Them kids be all right.
Okay, Tavon, are your comments coming through on your platform? And
I was watching earlier. I forgot. We got so wrapped into the conversation. I forgot. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah. Okay, so
there aren't any at this point.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had some people come through. That's why it went up for a hot second, and then it didn't. But like I said, I have never done that before. I probably will start doing that more frequently.
Well, did you have any comments that you wanted to share?
Yeah, thank everybody for tapping in and all that. You know what I'm saying, and coming to there. Like I said before, we trying to grow this little podcast. I know it's kind of boring and unstructured at this point, but content kind of is the structure. So we just trying to get it to where we can kind of have it interactive. We wanted to have a good panel plus a good amount of people to chime in on the comments and fuck with us.
Right.
So in our rarest form, we are the livest. Okay, when our rarest form, we are the livest.
We're doing a great job today. So my question is, have you guys had a chance to listen to any of the rap battle songs that are out there against each other right now?
That's crazy. So apparently it just wasn't updating on here, because the comments are most certainly there. It wasn't showing them for some reason. When I came out and went back in, all of a sudden it's a host of comments, Yeah, that's crazy. So, but
I want you to address some people from your platform, bro.
Well, I mean, it's all Kai. What's up with you, Kai? We see you. Yeah. Unfortunately, until we get this hiccup figured out with StreamYard, it's probably best, if y'all want to interact, to go ahead and tap in with the YouTube page at Four Corners Legacy Podcast, or actually it's Four Corners Legacy Podcast. You can search us on YouTube. That way we can see those comments. The way they got this set up now, they really hating on Facebook. We're not getting any interaction except for what shows up actually on the Facebook platform. So yeah.
Thanks, Roger, for sticking in with us too today.
Yeah, we appreciate you, bro. Okay, now I'm really wishing they would have been up there. Kai said,
I hate that it's not showing.
Yeah.
Hey, Kai
What'd
said, he said, me and T.I. need to have a vocabulary versus.
He left complete words out when he talked.
Oh my goodness.
No, he actually has a very extensive vocabulary. I love T.I. Let the record reflect.
He's got a vocabulary.
Yeah.
He's not a stupid person either.
We have to give credit where credit is due, regardless whether or not we like someone particularly. We have to be stewards of the craft and be like, okay, he's good at his craft. Like, he didn't become the quote unquote king of the South for no reason.
Well, I mean, what I will say is that I will give him credit for the fact that it took some time to see it actually become a reality. But again, like I said, the song that I really liked of his the most was the Dead and Gone with Justin Timberlake. And part of it is because I resonated with that, because I understood what it means and what it takes to say, you know what, I played this game, but this game doesn't define me. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm moving on into a different realm of life. And I think we see him doing that, you mentioned about seeing him at the Black empowerment campaign that was going on in Atlanta. Some of the topics that are covered on the Expeditious podcast. I mean, we have to at least salute the fact that he's trying to make an impact on the minds of people that follow him. So I'll definitely give him credit for that. And
I appreciate that you acknowledge that, because I think that one of the things that you guys have been steadfast in saying, I'll be with you in 1 second, sister. One of the things that you and Dees have always kept on saying about 50 Cent is that, with the power and with the power shows that he came out with, all the shows are about drug dealing and this and that he's not on being mindful of the change that we need to embark into the community. We don't need another dope dealer show, is what you guys have always said.
Well, because I see it for what it is. The only difference between Power and all this other stuff and Superfly and all the blaxploitation films, as they call them, the only difference between that and then is now it's a quote unquote Black person doing the production. We know that those films back in the day, it was being used to promote a certain mindset or mentality to have that infused into the reality within our communities. So the people that were behind that, it made sense why they were doing that. It don't make no sense why he's doing it. It's like, it means nothing if you have, again, like we talked about, having business acumen it means nothing if you're only going to use it to exploit the people who so-called support you. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you out for self. And
Right.
that's
I get
real.
it, but
That's
I do
what I was
also
gonna.
feel like,
That was a,
go ahead.
That's what I was going to touch on. You know, all the money that he's put into the negative, put some money into the positive. Put that money into something positive instead of out trying to knock the next black man down or the next black woman down. Put that money into promoting the black woman, promoting the black man, promoting the black family. Do something like that.
Okay, so I have a comment that's probably gonna make a rise out of some people, but it's like the book that I have been writing entails a lot of drug dealing, a lot of drug using, a lot of pimps, thugs, drugs, all that in my book. Okay, if somebody wanted to make my book into a movie, are they wrong? Am I wrong for telling that part of my story?
I don't look at right or wrong. We've talked about this before. Does it align with your spirit or does it not? I don't look at shit in terms of right or wrong, because we could be doing something wholesome and stand up and it's right to us, but somebody else, because they have a different perspective on life and a different set of morals, that's wrong that you're doing that. So I don't even get caught up in none of that. It's, does what I'm doing align with my spirit? Meaning, does it align with the sort of person I perceive myself to be? And if the answer is no, I'm not doing it. You understand what I'm saying? That's how I gauge shit.
The things that I did then do not align with who I am today, but there's somebody who's still stuck in the thick of it. So am I trying to glamorize that part of the life? Not exactly, but that is part of my story. So I don't think there should be I just see that as it can go both ways. Yes, 50 should be doing both sides of the story, but telling BMF's story or exaggerating their truths or sharing, what they did in the game, I don't feel like that's a bad thing, because it's really what happened.
It is.
But it also is.
I don't over talk, because I know Kasavi and Dee's have been a little quiet. So I do have something to say on that, though, but I'll hold it for now.
Go ahead, Snack.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a reason why I put up on Ben Pretty's comment. What should his shows be about? So it's like I said earlier about the music. If we look at it like the street shit, like a barbecue restaurant, we just all gonna have the same shit. Nobody never experienced no other food that was worthy of being promoted into a restaurant. So we take it out of restaurants and we put it into music and film. You ain't had no other experiences. I think people have had those experiences, but what they're thinking is, will this experience be accepted and embraced by this ghost entity called the streets? Fuck what you went through. Let's talk about what you went through internally as you were going through that. Speak about the growth about it, instead of just, putting out only the negative aspects. But again, I can only speak for me. The screenplay I'm writing, it touches on all that shit you talking about, but a person gonna have to apply their mind to it. Like, if they're just looking for visual effects, you'll probably miss it. If you ain't got no brain in your head, you're not gonna understand what I got going on. But it still does touch on everything that I've gone through throughout the different experiences in my life, whether it was the street, women, religion, whatever. It all goes back to that in some way or another. It's just done in an artistic fashion. And I think when you stand up and say, I'm gonna write movies and do all this type of shit, then you have to go back to the quote that was made by what was her name? Was it Nina Simone, or maybe it was Maya Angelou? But it is the responsibility of all artists to reflect the times in which they live. We don't live in BMF time. We don't live in 50 Cent Mama time.
Right.
Reflect what's going on right now, because right now it's some hot shit going on that I think is worthy of some attention.
Right. So, and I agree with that, because I feel like I could still tell my story. Now my story shows growth. Now my story shows change. It shows me overcoming all those things that initially, started out in the story. So I think that in order to better serve the community, you do have to provide an outlet to say, hey, we can get out of this. There is another route to go. All those things might make up who you are, but it doesn't shape where you're going.
Okay, so look, if you're gonna tell a story, you have to point out the part in the story when you realized that what you were doing was bullshit and that it was wrong and that you don't, because my thing is I never like really like when you were like drug fueled and different stuff like that. Like me, it was simple for me in life because I never really seen a drug dealer or a drug user that I wanted to be like. You feel what I'm saying? So so with me, it was different. Like those type of movies, and you want to glamorize the street element of it and all that. Like even if we were doing a movie and the movie was chronicling a guy who grew up with 3 other teenagers and one goes to prison and 2 other ones get killed or something like that, we don't have to show in graphic detail and the ignorant ways that our atrocities happen in our cities to we don't need to raise any more awareness to that. You feel?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need to raise awareness to it, but I don't think that people wake up and go. People might wake up and be like, I'm going to hit the block today. I'm going to be a drug dealer. Let me go find a place to get a sack. That might happen. But I don't think that a lot of drug users wake up and go, oh, I want to go be a drug user. I want to be a bum today. I don't think that. So in an effort to appeal to the people who are still in the thick of it, you still can tell that story of change and hope for them.
Right. But you
and
look
they
a certain
don't have
way,
to
though.
glamorize the negativity.
Well, the same story. That's why I wanted to try to find that documentary. I think it's 1967 through 1977, and those are like the primary years of the civil rights movement and all that. And these stories, blacks, I know some people are going to beg to differ, but it was like one of the persons said, and I don't know how true it was. They said it was 50 million blacks back then.
In
how
the
many
US.
is it now? Yeah. How many is it now?
Hold on.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
I know I
it says, I don't know how true these numbers is. It says, as of the early 2026, the black population in the United States has reached approximately 49.2 million, showing significant growth from 48.3 million in 2023 and 36.2 million in 2000. This includes people who identify as black alone or in combination with other races, representing diverse and growing demographic.
Right. Okay, so basically it's pretty much less now than it was then. And the only reason I'm even pointing that out is because like the attitude that 50 has, that let's keep this mentality. Black people's history in the United States is basically mafia Sicilian type people. That's what we are, and that's what we stand for and stood for all through all time. Fuck all that, bro.
I agree with that. I want to say, though, I do want to point out when I look it up, whether it's 1960 or 1967, the population of quote unquote black people in America at that point in time was anywhere between 18 and 22 million. So the numbers have increased. However, that does not invalidate what he's saying, because again, whether we're talking about, because I could easily write a book about gangbanging, but in doing that, I could make write a script about gangbanging. But in doing that, I don't think I'm going to get to the heart of what the actual problem is that leads people to whatever sort of lifestyle to get away from the realities, whether it be jumping head first into the streets or whether it be, getting addicted to drugs and all the shit people do. It comes from in my opinion, it comes from some sort of void that exists in us internally. So I think it is the responsibility of these rich ass black people that just want to make us laugh or make us look at how real the streets is. At some point, are we ever going to address the internal sickness? And because I don't think they are, that's why I'm writing this script, because I'm going to be the change that I want to see. So
And
I'm
I
not
love that.
saying all that from the bleachers, my nigga.
Right.
No, I'm over here suited up, waiting for the coach to call my motherfucking number. So
I
please
agree.
don't get it confused.
Right.
No, I love that.
And
I
definitely,
love that.
definitely same
I
page.
do.
Same page.
Because one of the things that I always can't stand is when people will say, "Oh, Tyler Perry only makes these kind of stupid movies, and then 50 Cent only makes these kind of movies." Well, let's see what else is out. You can be that change.
I'm tired of the barbecue.
There obviously is a market that is ready for what you have to offer, and I think that so this wide open for you to take on that area.
So look at it like this, for instance. So we all remember when the space shuttle took off and blew up into space, right? I mean, on its way up, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a black man on there.
And we didn't know that.
I might have knew that. I just probably forgot, but I know there was a
kid
school
though,
teacher.
so I mean,
I
it's
know there was
it's
the
not a
first
big deal
school
that I
teacher
didn't
was
know.
on there. I know
So-
she was on there. There
But
was a
I said
school
all that to say that black men can't reach other heights other than street shit. You feel what I'm saying? Now, all at the end of the day, he died and he didn't make it up to space, which would have been extreme for our people. But we should have known. Probably the reason why the space shuttle blew up is because it was a nigga on it. You know what I'm
because
saying?
the nigga was on it.
Right.
So-
That's why that motherfucker blew up.
So look at this. Okay, we're gonna talk about the two shows that and we won't even address the spin-offs.
Okay.
But Snowfall and Power. So Snowfall is Franklin. What happened to him in the end?
He
I
was
didn't watch
he
it
was
all
an
the way.
alcoholic, I believe.
Yeah, he was an alcoholic with not a
Yeah.
piece of lint in his pocket. What happened to Ghost in the end on Power?
He died.
Dead.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
what
factual.
did black people get out of that other than some pointless entertainment? And I just think we're better than that. We can't run around talking about black excellence and we're kings and we're gods and we're the indigenous and this, that, and the other, but we don't never want to do nothing that demonstrates that to be the truth.
Every time you turn on the
If we're
screen,
talking like that, but we're not living it, then that talk is nothing more than a mask that we're using to hide our deep-seated insecurities.
Right.
We
But
can't
at
keep
this
doing it. That's all I'm getting at. Yeah.
No, I agree that we can't keep doing it. I agree that somebody has to invoke change. I agree with all of that. I also think that we're still in the thick of it. That there's still, the street life and the street culture still exist. And there's still dummies out
And
there
it's
who
because they
believe
glamorize it.
but
It's
here's the
because it's
thing.
glamorized.
glamorized.
Here's the
I don't
thing,
think
though.
it's because it's glamorized that it still exists.
Okay.
That's not my.
That's not why.
I don't think that.
Okay, so I always try to reference this like this. So Leopold or whatever, King Leopold or Prince Leopold, whoever that motherfucker was, that killed like 100 million blacks. So you got all these blacks, Hitler, Genghis Khan, Hannibal. You got all these real people who really killed a lot of people. So I just don't understand this fascination with black men. Look, bruh, you got to kill 100 million people before you're gonna be in the history books for all times, nigga.
But the reason why they're doing it, again, it goes back to something deeper. When you lack culture, and people gonna get mad. Black folks have culture. We all the culture. This, that. We ain't got shit that ties us back beyond the 1900s. That means we ain't got no motherfucking culture. And it doesn't matter if you in your feelings about that, talk to God, whoever you pray to, because that is a fact. We don't know. We can look into history and say this aligns. I'm digging into that, but to have an actual full-on knowledge, the reality is the overwhelming majority of so-called black people don't know. So when you have no culture, okay, and you have no place in the society in which you live, and you have no family structure, I don't want to say no, but you're missing family structure in many homes, then what happens is these kids grow up and they're lacking a sense of self-importance. So I'm going to become important by being a G. And then I'm gonna go further than that. I'm gonna be a more important G because I got 10 hats. I done knocked down 10 of the ops. They're not doing it just because it's cute. They're chasing something internal. And until we address that, problem continues.
Yeah.
It's inside. It's not external.
And that's why it doesn't make any sense to make those type of films, because all you're doing is, I want to be like O-Dog. I want to be like Ghost. I want to be like Rayful Edmond. I want to be like Bumpy Face Johnson. I want to be like, you know, these are the people that our youth are literally modeling themselves after.
Well, I think
Like
it
Big
was a
U. He's in
responsibility
jail
to
still
show them-
saying he's going to do this and he's going to do that.
Right. I mean, I ain't gonna say too much on that, but dude needs he need Jesus or something, you know. Like he
he's
didn't cause so
stupid.
much pain. He didn't cause so much pain and hurt to so many people. Like, and at the end of the day, when you do it the way he did it, you destroy your own life. It's all irrelevant at that point, homie.
Well, and when we get to thinking about that, you know, so a lot of them don't just destroy their lives; they destroy the lives of family members, because family members become your first lieutenant or one of your street soldiers as well. And everybody starts jumping in the game. So I think
But
that's
look
the
how it
reality.
looks now, though. Black Sam and them now, like he hurt Black Sam bad. We know he hurt him bad, and he hurt
Right.
Nipsey's father and all of the family members that was involved.
Good,
with it.
good example.
But look where they at now, and look where
Yeah.
he's at now. You
Yeah.
can't win with fuckery, homie.
No,
Mm-mm.
I agree. I love that. That's a perfect example. It's a prime example of holding your head in the midst of it, because they lost a key player, and they could have went right back to rolling 60. You know what I mean? Like it tucked their tail, but they kept the business mind going, and that is what we started out our show talking about. And I think that is basically a full circle moment, is to realize that yes, you're exactly right. You can be the change that you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty deep, right? Because the police almost killed Black Sam previously. I don't know if you guys remember the story or heard of
I
the
do.
story.
Well, and I'm not sure that I don't. So that's why I always question them naming the corner after him, because, you know, one of Nipsey's last posts was something to the fact, and I don't want to misconstrue it verbally, but he said something to the fact of, I love having strong enemies. You know what I mean? And so we all know that the police force, you know, he was due to meet with them. We all know that the gang politics was playing its part in the streets as well. So all of that played a part in all of it. I don't necessarily rule out police involvement in the recruitment of specific person, but I don't also rule out that rolling 60s, that there was the whole chain of command and nobody's bigger than the program. I get that all of that played a part.
Just because you mentioned it, I want to speak on this because it was highlighted. Having strong enemies is a blessing. Had nothing to do with anybody in-house or in police. It was a particular individual that was either a Blood or a Pyru. I can't say for sure, but there was a mutual respect between the two of them about being for real about what goes on when you play ball in the streets, you know. And when they ran into each other, a conversation ensued. Like, real motherfuckers who've been out there are able to do that, because it's like,
right,
we both know where it can go. So for the moment, a respectful conversation, and there was even a picture that was taken, and the individual who took that picture wound up coming out later saying, I knew the post was about me because I knew the conversation that he and I had just had. So if you look deep enough beyond it, having a strong enemies is a blessing. Was just him trying to say, like, man, wait till y'all see what me and bruh got planned. It had nothing to do with with what caused his demise. It just looked like that to people who didn't know what was going on.
Right, because there's a lot of gang politics that a lot of people didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
But because, I mean, we can even say that him and YG and him in the game, who are all Bloods, Pirus, whatever you want to call them, had close relationships. He had great relationships with them, just like he had a great relationship with Snoop.
And that's what's fucking crazy, because it's like you guys can have these Bloods and Crips on these songs together, making millions of dollars together, but we can't figure it out on this low tarantula ass level.
But just to be fair though, if you talk to people that are like from LA, because it's not like Sacramento, we have to get that.
We know
out there, the beef is not necessarily between the factions, it's between hoods. So yeah, he's a Blood from over there, but our committed enemies to our hood is not them, and vice versa. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
real shit.
It's not really just like, oh, Blood Crips working together. It's two dudes who actually have played in the same lifestyle, but our paths ain't never crossed in the dirty aspects of that lifestyle. So it didn't prevent us from doing business.
Right. But when we look at the doors, because it's well known that the game brought Nipsey on tour with him. Okay. So we have to acknowledge that, yeah, they might not have had a one-on-one street beef.
I'm not talking about one-on-one. I'm saying like hoods beef with hoods out there, regardless of color. So it's like it's not like Sacramento in that regard. It's different. Yeah.
Because I guess I get what I'm trying to say is you can't say the Rolling 60s and Compton Pirus never had a beef together. You know what I mean?
What I'm saying is they know who their sworn enemies are.
Okay.
And if a nigga don't fall into that category, what's gonna stop them from doing business together?
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And their sworn enemies, their sworn enemies could be flagging out of the same pocket. That's the point I'm making. It does. Well, it's not about that.
Clearly, that's how it ended. And clearly, that's how it ended. It was your enemy may be closer than you had originally at thought it was. Because if we look at Nipsey's so-called friends that backdoored him, we would say, okay, then it was in his own set. If we look at that, but I don't want to make it sound like I know all the street politics behind the things that were behind the scene, but I'm just saying, like, providing an opportunity for Nip to go on tour with him opened up some doors for Nipsey, and there was no color lines that separated that.
Yeah, I'm sure it did, and that, but if you think about it, like when you go back to the '90s and you had Banging on Wax, okay?
Oh, dope track, yeah.
So the song Pyru Love, and I don't know how true this is, but one of the guys was talking about it and was like, people don't even know that it was a Crip on the hook. So this whole Crips and Bloods doing music together goes way back to that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
you understand what I'm saying? But you can rest assured. You can rest assured it might have been Crips and Bloods, but there was no sworn enemies in the booth.
Correct. So let's just take it back. Even you're a music connoisseur and you like to go way back into hip hop. If we think about songs like Self Destruction, we look at the fact that we've been trying to get this peace treaty going. We've been trying to get this unity in the streets. And so it just hasn't happened yet. So maybe a movie like yours could provide that angle or that aspect or that so-called that wake up tool that's needed to get people to look at.
Absolutely, and so since you want to go back, because like I said, we'll bang, Self-Destruction, that was the East Coast version, and We All in the Same Gang was the West Coast version. So are we like, don't go play with me, homie? You know what I'm saying?
Fellas. And Nightmare Psychopath talking.
Yeah, King of my jungle, just a gangster stalking. Oh,
it just needs to be a time where like black men will walk past each other in the streets or whatever and not be worried about where this other dude is from because he's on his way to the library or the digital library or whatever. Let's just say digital cloud library or whatever. And the other dude's on his way to go shoot some hoop or something. And ain't nobody got no angles like that. We need to, our lives are complicated enough in the United States. why would we put these unnecessary targets and obstacles in front of ourselves when you see Lil Jeff, Bloodhound Jeff, okay, he killed 6, 7 people, 10 people, and then got smoked like it was nothing at the end of the day. King Von killed a bunch of people, then got smoked like it was nothing at the end of the day. You know, so like, what is like that shit is neither here nor there, bro. You know what I'm saying? We don't even care at this point.
We don't, but I will.
I was
will
just
say that
talking about that last night.
Go ahead, sis.
I was just talking about that last night with one of our panel guests, Roger, last night, that he was out and a black man was walking towards him and he said, "Oh, what's up, man?" Put his head up and he was like, "What's up?" And like snooted his nose up to him like, and I said, yeah, that's the same thing with black women. Black women hate on each other for whatever reason they can't get along. We need to stop doing that dumbass little immature kiddie playground ass acting and be more respectful to one another and just, man, quit the dumb shit. You know,
especially
say hello.
Especially if at the end of the day, if something happens, everybody's gonna be trying to unify to right the wrong or right the situation or find some sort of balance or something. So why, when it's not a Freddie Gray or one of these other brothers that's losing their life out here in these streets, how come the sentiment and the unison and the unity isn't there just on GP?
It depends on where you're at.
Right.
And locale is a very big part of it, because growing up in California versus living in South Carolina is totally different. And what I mean by that is, in California, more often than not, we don't have those interactions where it's like, hey, what's up, bro? And it's just all good. But when you come out this way, more often than not, you have those interactions, because there's a different sort of mindset that's interwoven into the community. It really depends on where you're at. That's not something that is like, even though that statement you're saying is true, it's based on location, because it's extremely untrue depending on where you live at.
Well, it might not be that to that extent, but there's always been this hidden saying about it, like Southern hospitality and stuff like that. And I don't know if that's necessarily like, if a motherfucker was to ask me, I'd be like, nah, them niggas was crazy over there. They look, as soon as my voice didn't sound right, them niggas hated me.
No, I have those experiences too. That's why I said more often than not. I'm not saying it's never, but it's more often that I get embraced with peace and love. That's all I'm saying. It's more often than it is the other way.
Right.
I want to say this, and this is kind of like, to go back to what Tusov was saying about women not getting along and stuff like that. I feel like working in the hospitality industry, I have been faced with situations where I have a no party policy in place for the hotel itself. I don't want to stereotype my people, but here come a group of ratchet blue color hair and green and this and that ass loud talking with a whole bunch of kids and a cake. And I'm saying, hey, we don't allow party policy, you know, and I just, it be our own people is what I'm saying. And then they want to throw a party in the pool area. Now they got hookah, music playing, it's smoking weed, it's kids, and it be our own people.
Them ain't my people, and I hate to say that, but you ain't my people just because of skin color. The only way you my people is if we aligned mentally. That's the only way you my people.
I like that you said that, because I feel like I'm constantly in a battle with that, because and it's all around the world. It's the same song. People act, you know, some of our people, and like you said, they ain't your people, but some blacks act ignorant, and it's like, why do it gotta be them? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm trying to be coming at it, and I'm not trying to, hello, I'm just gonna be a Caucasian acting black, and I'm going to be, no, I'm like, hey sister, you know what I mean? We don't have a party public, we have a no party spell. I'm trying to be real with motherfuckers, right? And then they lie, and then they have a party, and then they get kicked out, and then they still get charged for it. They destroy the property. We've had people come here and say, I'll tear this motherfucker up. And it just be like, I just don't want any connection to those type of people.
But
and that's where it starts. That's where it starts. It starts with us being disgusted at certain elements. We have to be that way. We cannot turn a blind eye and say it's okay for little Isaiah to go out there and rob a store with Chancharanche and you know what I'm saying, Valentino Listerine or whoever the fuck these niggas is.
Right.
That's
like it's not okay for Porsche Mercedes to go out there and sell her ass for so and so. You know what I mean? Like it's not. We gotta have some kind of sense of enough is enough in the community. And mind you, I'm not just talking about California. We're not just talking about the Carolinas. I'm way over here where I'm at right now.
Yeah,
and so that's why I say it's all around the world, the same song. It just be like, God damn, like here we go again.
But that's not something that happens simply because it's a part of the DNA strand. It's something that it's learned behavior, and it's learned through indoctrination, and that indoctrination takes place through the media. Look at the imagery of us. The overwhelming imagery of us fits the description of what you said, and that's why I was on certain people's line about the media, the stuff that they produce to put out in the media. You want this to keep happening as long as it fills your pockets. You understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
But on the same token, though, we have to get to a point, and I wish I could remember who said it. I was watching a clip from a podcast, and I wish I could remember who said it because I felt like he was dropping a gem, but he was saying, like, we got to stop all this. Oh, black folks is making us look bad by their behavior, because we the only race of people that's saying that. You think white people is looking at Ted Bundy like, oh my goodness, he made us look so bad?
No.
They're not even remotely close to thinking that he is of their kind.
Right,
and
there's no connection.
I said what I said. Them motherfuckers ain't my people.
I get it, I love that, and I think that's a very valid point.
Yeah, we don't. That's why they say skin folk ain't always kin folk,
and that's why that's why you have to be disgusted.
Right. I'm definitely disgusted. I'm definitely disgusted with some of the stuff that I see, because and for me, it's because I always want to round up the troops. I'm always trying to, my people. But I guess I'm gonna have to start that whole separation as I go into my next assignment. I don't think I'm gonna carry, because again, I keep seeing it all wherever I go. No matter where I'm at, I keep seeing the same thing. And so I don't want to be like, these are my people. Because you're not my motherfucking people. You're not part of my tribe if that's how you behave. Because I'm Black, and my mom taught me the difference in etiquette and common sense and ebonics and a time and place for everything. So you're not my people if you can't figure that out.
And not wearing bonnets when you leave the house and pajama pants everywhere you fucking go. Come on, man.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
That shit don't even bother me. To me, that's like a street sign. Yeah, I don't go down that road because I seen the street sign. I don't never look and be like, oh, they're making me look bad. I think I'm decent. My shit's hooked up. I'm straight.
Right. And even if I'm just going to go get some gas,
that motherfucker ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
Yeah, I don't even let that shit bother me. That's what they do. And that should be a trademark indicator that we are not of the same.
We are not the same. We are not the same.
So you look at it like this: it's 4 of us on here. Right. And then each one of us probably knows another person that can align with our process and plan and everything we trying to put together to bring a little bit of awareness and, stop the violence and all that. Because I don't care what nobody says. That shit has to stop or cease or, all that shit has to change. You know what I'm saying? To give us a chance. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, we're still in an extreme uphill situation. But that would be 8 people right there. And then possibly they know somebody else that can bring it in. And here now you got this many people. And then, you know what I'm saying? So it just has to be looked about from a teach one standpoint. And that's why the message has to be as alluring as the propaganda. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and with the each one teach one, I think if we all grab what we produce, what we bring into this world, then our numbers even they go up even more. You know, I got 4 kids. Kasabi got 3 kids. You got 4 kids. You got, you know, like all of our kids. If we just start with our kids and our kids, we've already done something. You know what I mean? So because we can't save the world. Go ahead, sister. Go ahead.
But see, we could grab one, but out of all that, that's the reason why they made it to where if you put some ignorant shit on and it gets posted and reposted and in so many views, they're going to get paid for it because they wanted to continue. Because if they know someone's going to get paid for something, then they're going to continue to produce the content, and that's going to continue the negativity. They ain't paying people. People aren't watching positive shit on TV, so they're not gonna, you know, that's why they, you know, the negativity is continuing on because they're getting paid for it. YouTube will pay you, Facebook will pay you, Instagram will pay you for some ignorant shit that's on, and no matter what, this day and age is on that shit.
But I think it stems from
outside of the money. It goes back to our legacy, which is the name of our show. It's our 4 Corners legacy. Who can we touch with? Part of our legacy is our kids, our kids, our immediate family. Those are the people who we can make a difference on. And then they can go out into their communities and then it spreads from there.
I want to touch on what she said because I think it's important to say this. Everybody will jump on it and it goes viral. So what that says about our so-called community, that it's okay. We'll support you being a fucking sellout, but we got all this shit to say about snitching. So when I say that there's no culture, or that there's not enough culture. Let me put it like that. There's not enough culture that exists amongst so-called Black people. And the reason why I keep saying so-called, because that we ain't even tied to no nationality with that. So there's not enough culture because culture would prevent us from heralding people that put this sort of trash out. That can't even be argued. We're okay with motherfuckers selling us out.
Yeah,
but we want to hold firm to principles when it comes to niggas doing a goddamn a Crime Stoppers commercial. You love sellouts.
That's crazy. No, that's a very good point.
Your moral compass is off.
And
you're a clown. You're a porch monkey. Whatever.
Right. I think that we just have to stay the course. I think that we have to know that at this particular moment, as a people, we may come across as the underdog, or we may come across as the less admired or less reposted or the less shared. I think we have to be okay with that for now in order to get the growth. Just keep on building the traction. It's going to happen. It's going to happen because I think overall, and I did just say, you know, all around the world, the same song. And then I run into so much different types of ignorance, but I think that there are people who are ready for change as well. And I think that there is a group of people who have outgrown that way of thinking also.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's frustrating, but like one thing I'm understanding is like, this is our time where we're living right now. This is our time. You know what I'm saying? And this is when you make your mark in history or not.
Yeah.
You make your mark in music. You make your mark in art or film or law, going and taking some real big challenging cases. Remember, this lawyer won 50 cases in a row or whatever it is your legacy is. You know, I think people are missing the memo. You know, the low level people are never remembered. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, we heard about Al Capone and you know, Bumpy Johnson and all those guys, But what about all the other guys that were beneath them that were dying in the streets and killing
Correct.
in the streets and robbing people and doing all this and going and getting lengthy prison sentences and stuff like that? You never heard a word about it.
No.
And
And
that's
they
why
paid
it's
their dues
important.
too. They paid their dues just
And
like
they paid their
everyone else.
dues just like they did. But
Yeah.
it's you cannot glamorize. I mean, you could glamorize it if you want, but it has to be a cold glamorization. It has to be like, hey, Scarface, he was on top of the world. The world is Tony Montana. That motherfucker got the globe and shit in the house, and blam, he got his black blew out and fell down in the motherfucking pond and he bled out. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, while you were saying that, I went to lean back in my chair and almost fell back. I was like, God damn, now I'm Tony.
You feel what I'm saying? So they got it right. And that's why I kind of like the way, I ain't gonna lie, I like the way white filmmakers portray things, because they kind of, nobody really wanted to be like Scarface by the end of the movie. You didn't want to be Tony no more.
That's not true though, because the shootout was like, it was like,
When that nigga was getting all them bullets and then he was going, but you knew, you was like, okay, wait, they shot him a lot of times right there. He's probably not gonna make it. You know what I'm saying?
well, he's not gonna make it.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit.
I mean, there was just so many
at first you're
pivotal
like,
parts
this
of the
nigga
movie.
gonna win.
It's like,
This nigga gonna win. Oh no, they shot the shit out of him.
Like, it's like the movie is always gonna go down in history, no matter what. You know what I mean?
No, that's what I'm saying.
On that note, about the Scarface and all this and that, like how you were saying, like by the end of the movie, you didn't want to be like him. I think that this is another element that gets overlooked. Scarface, his character, Tony Montana, his mission started in order to get himself out of extreme poverty.
Yeah.
And what I will say to be true, we know that there's impoverished people that live in the United States. However, some of these people, they're not living in poverty. You might be living in less than favorable circumstances, but that does not equate to poverty. People go to some of the things they go to because it's easier than doing shit this way. It's easier for me to stand out here juking, doing this is right at my fingertips. It's not that I have no other option. It's that I like this option better. And people don't be honest about that shit. Yeah, sure. There are some people that arise into the dope game because they're really trying to put meat in the refrigerator. But that's not true of many of them motherfuckers. Some people really want the glitz and the glamour. They're seeking that self-importance. It don't really be about the shit that it was with Tony. Yeah, he might have lost himself along the way. He was tired of being a poor motherfucker. That's what it really came down to.
That is true. But but you think of the flip side of that is because if you remember, his mom didn't want his money. His mom didn't want his money
because she
his
knew
sister,
what came with it.
Exactly. You know what I mean? His sister got caught up in it. So it was some real shit that went on in there. But I think the valid point that Dee's made, like, a lot of people didn't want to, they're like, damn, he went out backwards, like that was a realistic ending to the movie. Like, a lot of people are gonna go out either dead or in jail.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the truth of it.
So we should change it into, if we're gonna make movies like that, we should change the title and the genre into cautionary tales or cautionary films.
A good way to look at it. Cautionary films. I think my story.
Something, because I know I can get a little passionate about certain subjects. I don't want to come across in a way that I think that people shouldn't have their own individualism. If you call yourself an artist, you have the right to your own artistic, individual aspect, outlook, expression, all of that. But as an individual, I also have the right to say it's bullshit. That's really all I'm saying.
Right.
I did get a text message, and it was a while ago. I did not review it, but I got 2 text messages that said check comments on Facebook. Since my Facebook is not attached, that came from Kai. I think you addressed her
I
comments.
did, yeah.
You addressed her comments, but we do have to try to figure out a way to get our Facebook platform. So I just want to take a moment to thank anybody who was on Facebook who happened to join the show. If we didn't get to your comments, we do apologize. We see you, but on the backside of things, we're going to continue to look into ways to resolve those issues on Facebook. So bear with us on that. But remember, you can always join us on YouTube at Four Corners Legacy on YouTube.
And on that note, I love my brothers and sisters.
I love y'all too. I'm sorry my sense of humor is so bad, and I'll be saying.
No, I think we did. I actually think today was a great show. I think that we had a lot of good things to say. I think we just got to get to a point where we are able to get all the comments to join in and know who's actually viewing our show. But the show is for us, and the show is to go out into the universe and for more people to watch and more people, and we won't be live and they won't be able to interact with us. So we just keep going and we just keep pushing it how it is now.
Long live the Black
also,
Panthers.
We are open to any comments or ideas for our show. Please drop in and let us know something that you might want to talk about or discuss.
Before we close out, I'd like each of the hosts to drop your Instagram or your Facebook information so that those that are on can go and give us a like and follow on all of our different platforms. So as you can see, I'm Miss My _916. You can follow me on YouTube. You can find me on TikTok, and you can find me on Facebook as Maisha Akiba. So.
Yeah, you can reach me at Valley Uno on Instagram. And TikTok, Kasim Ali on Facebook.
And you can reach me on at Diesel Washington on Facebook, at Diesel the Locomotive on TikTok, and it might be Diesel Washington on TikTok, but Diesel the Locomotive on Instagram, and you know.
And you can find me on Facebook as Kasavi Willis, on Instagram as Tusav Shakur. I don't think I have it. Do I have a TikTok? I gotta update all that.
It's just your name on TikTok.
Yeah.
So, but
all right, I wanted to say this a quick shout out.
A quick shout out.
All right, shout out to the Black Panthers, man. You know, for trying to bring our community medical coverage and bringing free lunches to the school system, and provide protection for us out here against police brutality and things like that are even probably more prevalent now than they were in their era. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just think at this point, I'm glad that them brothers made the sacrifices they made to where I can even think like that, have a podcast to speak how I'm speaking right now. Because back in them days, them brothers, if they spoke like this, the FBI went up their ass with a microscope.
Absolutely. And we have to remember that there are some new age Black Panthers that are actually active and out there on the streets right now, challenging police against police brutality, challenging ICE against the behaviors that they are. So I think that was an excellent comment, Dees.
We need to find that. If anybody knows who's involved in community movements like that, I'm willing to pitch my hat in on that type of stuff.
I will say this, for me personally, I think this is something that's true of a lot of people in our communities around the country. The spirit of the Black Panther Party for self-defense, it lives and breathes in me. So when somebody's doing something and they're trying to reach people, if their intentions are genuine, you hear them say, if I could only reach one. So I'm one of many, and it's somebody else saying I'm one of you know what I mean? Their efforts were not in vain, because they reached people that wasn't even alive at the time that they was pushing them limits.
Right. And them people were going the Angela Davis and Asada Shakur and I think it's the brother, light-skinned brother, tall brother. His
See,
name
that's
is
another thing. We should
but
know those
anyway,
names right off the top of our
no,
head.
I know his name, but they went into Tavon mentioned him in one of his songs. But you know, they all wound up having to go in exile and shit because they basically was just gonna lock them away and throw away the key on them out here for shit that never even occurred.
Yeah, like look at the one that just died in prison, Mumia Abu Jamal. You know, like them is all political prisoners, and what I mean by that is that they're in prison for crimes that never actually took place. You know, there's something about going to prison for a crime you didn't commit, but one that never even actually happened. That's bananas. You know, that's bananas. Yeah.
And then
I'm having a brain
back,
freeze, you guys. I'm having a brain
just
freeze.
looking back on the awareness of those who were alive during those struggles. If you talk to a 19-year-old or a 10-year-old black kid back then, they spoke like how we speak right now.
They were in tune with the world around them. And nowadays, kids are not.
6, 7. That's what they're gonna be talking about now. 6, 7.
Yeah.
And I don't even still know what that means.
It means body slam the kid that said it. That's what it does. Yeah. But yeah, again, shout out to everybody for tapping in. I hope y'all liked and subscribed so we can continue to reach more people, this and that. And we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And we'll see you on the next go round.
All right. Join us again in 2 weeks.